Hey guys, how's it going? Today is Friday, quadruple witching day, right? Um, oh, the market was a little bit brutal. We know that. Um, I have a lot kind of on the plate for tonight, but we'll see how this all goes. We'll see what everyone wants to talk about. But I do know that well, we're going to start off with this Yahoo Finance. I'm hoping I have my monitor set up correctly. There we go. Yay, I did it right. All right. So I found this earlier and I tweeted it out. I don't know if everyone saw it or not, but warnings of economic catastrophe come as Congress prepares to debate debt ceiling. Like, the fact that they are still debating this, like, this has been since July that they've needed to figure this out. We're in September, guys. And the Republicans are still kind of digging their heels in. They don't want to work with anyone. And so it's kind of a mess in that sense. So yeah, so here it is. The dire warning comes as lawmakers appeared no closer to resolve a dispute between Biden, his fellow Democrats, and Republican lawmakers who have declined to help lift the $28.5 trillion federal borrowing limit to pay for programs already authorized by Congress. And so this is, this isn't just, debts or anything that involve other countries. Like, this is, our Social Security. This is the veteran payouts, military payouts, food stamps, anything like that, right? And so it's this is going to get pretty bad. And what ends up happening if we default, or even just in the threat of a default happening within our being unable to pay our obligations, it creates a lot of chaos and uncertainty in our market, and which can actually make it fall, which would just be one of those dominoes, right? We're just waiting on how I see it is like there's like 7 different dominoes ready to just be tipped over, and the minute one of those does, it just starts the chain reaction, right? So that's kind of what we're looking at this point. So this isn't good. This is not good. The fact that they're not compromising. These are going to be people that are laid off. There's going to be businesses going under. It's, people won't be able to cover their bills. So, hey, Tampa Kurt, Chef Hills, Fresh Maker, Jake Brown. What's going on, guys? In the Discord, 1D, we got Drew 88, Spartan Stock, Cable Hound, and Halster's in here as well, and First Strike. Thanks. Hey, guys, what's going on? So you'll notice behind me, we've been rearranging the entire living room because that's where our computers are at the moment. So we rearranged everything in the living room to where I was actually set up with a nice background. So it's been a very busy day. So it's been good though. That's why I had to stop tweeting today, because we had a lot to do. We cleaned carpets and everything, whatnots. But anyway, you guys don't care about that. The next thing is this. So I did have someone on Twitter asking, is that, the videos of people waiting and whatnots to get into the country, or they were actually in the country or whatever down in Texas. And I don't know how old that video is, but that's besides the fact, right? Like, we know people are being scattered throughout the entire country. We know this already. We know they're going into Tennessee and just different states or whatever around the country. And the fact that and we know that Congress, like the federal government, is exempt from this, and the USPS Postal Service members, they're exempt from the vaccine mandate. So it begs the question, why? Why are the federal employees and USPS and all of these immigrants, why are they exempt from a mandatory vaccine? I'm very curious about it. I really am. You bring all these people in. I mean, we have people from Afghanistan that we've been bringing over. We have people coming up from Central and South America coming up and, getting in, and, but Florida and Texas are the bad guys right now. Like, right, we're the crazy ones. I don't know. So yeah, this was the other one that I wanted to kind of bring up and say, hey, like, this is actually a thing, where, no requirement that immigrants caught illegally crossing into the country be vaccinated, not even the migrants who are allowed to remain in the U.S. to pursue asylum. So I don't know. I wish I could figure it out. There is also something else that I find interesting. There was a situation, imagine that, that Hambone actually showed me last night that, and if there's anyone that can speak on this as well, I'd greatly appreciate it. But I'm going to butcher this. I know I am. So, all right, France had a deal with Australia for Australia to buy French submarines. And come to find, and this comes as, we were supposed to go and celebrate a friendship, a collaboration, or and something with France, and just the celebrating the fact of how we're working together, right? Like it was supposed to be a great joyous thing here soon, where Biden was supposed to go over there and whatnot. And come to find out, Australia basically pieced out of their deal with France for subs, and went with the UK and our subs because of the technological advances, and just the better equipment and the better, just everything from how our subs are built versus how France's are built. And France basically saw that as like the biggest smack in the face, F you. So one, they canceled the party, which I thought was kind of how the the video that we were watching about this, how they put it seemed kind of silly. Like, oh, well, if you did this, I'm just going to cancel our party. Screw you, man. But no, it's actually pretty bad. It's actually a really precarious situation because it's, we've already screwed France. Like we screwed a lot of countries when we pulled out of Afghanistan and whatnot. And so, it was just that next step of, pissing people off around the world. According to Twitter trends earlier, Florida's worse than the entire Vietnam War. Like, we're collapsing every other minute. Oh, Lord. I have no words for that. I really don't, because, like, I think what's interesting is that I live around a lot of, like, older people. A lot of the people we live around are, in their 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe even older. And, and they haven't been wearing masks forever, and they're still out walking the sidewalks. They're still, going to bingo. They're still going out and drinking. Like, they're still doing their everyday lives. Like, I think in our neighborhood, the younger people, like my age and a little bit older, we're the ones that are that have stayed home. Like, we would be staying home and just doing whatever, and we'd see them going out to bingo night. So it was interesting. Been to Tampa a couple times and I love it. Tampa is amazing. It's an amazing city. I've seen a lot of different places in my life, and Tampa is the most chill place ever. Plus it has everything, right? Like, it has, you have sports, you have different museums, you have all kinds of craziness, but we won't get into that. We won't get into that because there's the bugs. That's what I get people not to come here. Like, people don't want to move places where there's bugs and pythons and alligators. You just don't want to do that. Plus, apparently, we're all just crazy, so whatever. Other than that, on a broad market scale, so when it comes to this stuff with like France and what's going on with Australia, like, okay, so this was actually pretty huge. From what I remember from last night watching that, so China, here we go, China. As we know, this whole Evergrande thing is collapsing, and that is just a mess in itself. And like, there's people that are like, oh, it's just a blip. It's just a small blip in their radar. They don't really care about. No, they care. They care, guys. This is Evergrande falling is just the first domino. Like, think of Lehman Brothers. It's just the first domino, and I don't think because so when you have a business in China, it is mainly held and owned by the city-state. It's just how they've, it's how they control the businesses and whatnot. And so Evergrande going down, that really does hurt their economy pretty bad. And it's going to affect the world because of how, the different corporations and institutions that are invested into Evergrande. It's all going to take a hit and just kind of be one of those pieces of the puzzle that are going to fall into place. But anyway, so China has their own problems. But then again, so they've been feuding with Australia. And that's why Australia kind of wants this protection with these subs and whatnot. North Korea has been firing off missiles again. And I'm very thankful that we're no longer on the islands of Hawaii. But I do fear for them because it's just too close. But they've also, so the Chinese military has also been sailing around, well, their subs and a couple ships have been up around Alaska. So that's no good. But China doesn't want us interfering with Australia. And we just basically said, screw you, man, and here's some subs and whatnot, and trying to help Australia because they are an ally. Funny enough that, a lot of the guys stationed in Hawaii or Guam or anything like that, they go to Australia and they actually do some trainings with the military there. They do some really cool different training exercises and whatnot. So they're a very close ally in many, many different ways. And my heart goes out to them because they're going through some stuff down there. I hope anybody that listens from Australia, I hope you check in and say, yeah, we're okay, or man, shit's getting crazy, because I don't even know what to make of it down there. Like, I watch as much news as I can from all the different countries, and the fact that, I don't know if anybody caught this, the fact that they're I can't remember how she put it, but she basically told everyone, like, the lockdowns are here, you're going to have to get vaccinated and everything, and welcome to the New World Order. Like, that was pretty much it. There was nothing else to it. Hey, Existent, what's going on?
Hi there. Thought I'd pop in for a few.
Oh, well, always. But yeah, so yeah, anyway, to finish off with this whole submarine thing, needless to say, we have now pissed off France and China in this whole ordeal with trying to help Australia. And you would think we'd learn from helping people that sometimes it's best just not to help. But apparently we are just that big-hearted that it's our obligation and duty. Wow. I'm tongue-tied there. To just do it. I mean, and it's the right thing. It is the right thing. So we all know there's bullies. Like, right? We have bullies on Twitter. We have bullies on YouTube. We have bullies in real life. Now we just have bullies on a whole global scale. So it's just a mess. Banking instruments in China aren't good, and Chinese citizens don't trust their stock market. They buy apartments as investments instead, and the collapse of Evergrande will wipe out their savings. And no, you're absolutely right, Zeus. You're absolutely right. And I think that's why we really do have to try our damnedest to get the U.S. stock market fair and reliable and, not corrupt, because I think it's literally like the last hope. It is literally the last hope. And God help us. God help us. Existent, what do you got for us? Anything good?
No, I figured I'd check in here. It's a lot less stressful than work, and jumping in to see what the conversation's like tonight. So no, I don't really have anything to jump in at yet.
Okay. I'm trying to think. My brain is so shot. I I tried to keep up. Let me see. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry.
I thought I had heard yesterday. I thought somebody was posting that the $3.5 trillion bill got shut down or something, but I haven't had the time to research that, and I don't know if that's true or not. Any idea?
I have not found out if it is true, but I don't believe it. I mean, it hasn't gone through yet by any means. I do know that. Uh, I know, and they're still big. I mean, they're bickering about so much right now. That it's I don't see it being put through. I mean, they're trying to get these tax bills to go through, but I mean, okay, think about it this way. This, because I think this is the bill that they're referring to as the $3.5 trillion tax bill. And it is literally to tax the super wealthy and the corporations. These are the same people that line their pockets. Guaranteed no one and that's actually getting paid by these people are going to be like, yeah, that's a great idea. Or, these people also have, the millions of dollars, the billions of dollars. They're not going to want to pay their taxes. Come on.
Well, and there was a news thing that I saw yesterday. I think that I forget what the committee is in I think the House that assesses real impact of tax changes. But I believe they had found that with this new plan, it was actually going to effectively increase taxes for anyone that makes over $50,000 a year. So it's interesting because that's by no means taxing the rich. And rich folks are really good at living within the rules and just skating by, paying the taxes they absolutely have to pay and moving other things. And as they continue to increase taxes, they're going to continue to get better at that or move money out. And so it's going to continue to roll down that lower and lower incomes are going to have to keep paying for this stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, it's that whole trickle down economy, right? No, not funny. Alistair, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? No, I was gonna say that's really interesting. I saw like a headline about that bill. I mean, I haven't done a deep dive or anything, but essentially the headline was the CNBC article talking about Peter Thiel, who is one of the co-founders of Palantir, and he was also the founder of PayPal. But I know one of the provisions of the bill is forced withdrawals from retirement accounts for people that have total assets of more than 10 million in their retirement accounts. And it was essentially saying Mr. Thiel would have to have a forced withdrawal of roughly 5 billion from his Roth IRA under the provisions of the new bill, which I thought that was interesting. But it was funny because not being super familiar with the tax bill, when we said 3.5 trillion, I figured we were talking infrastructure. And this is purely speculation on my part, but that one still hasn't fully passed yet. Although we're talking about potential running out of money, going into default, going into October, like if the debt ceiling isn't raised. So it's kind of interesting that they separated those things out. We now have a 3.5 trillion, tax increase bill on the table, along with the 3.5 trillion
No,
infrastructure
I
bill.
believe it's all one and the same. They're doing it all in
Isn't
the same bill. Congress trying to throw as much as they can into one thing, so that they can hide any special interests they have in there.
I
Well,
thought it was
that
two
makes
different
sense.
bills because the infrastructure bill was different than the tax bill. I thought they were different.
I could absolutely be wrong.
I could be wrong too, but I
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Google
it's just interesting times. I mean, right? Like we have so we've got the whether or not they're different bills. Like we've got the revenue from the tax the tax bill. We have the infrastructure bill, and then we've got the debt ceiling, which it doesn't seem like many you're talking about outside of a few that closely follow the markets. But I mean, it does always seem like they wait till the last minute with those things. I mean, we may well have government shutdowns incoming once again.
Yeah, they're separate. The $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill, and then the $3.5 trillion social policy bill, which was the tax bill. So they're trying to pass $4.5 trillion right now.
Yeah, and the infrastructure, the 1 trillion was already passed by the Senate, which means
Yeah.
it's effectively gone. I think the House was sitting on it because they want to get their 3.5 through, and so they don't want to approve the bill that the Senate already approved until the Senate approves the 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, but it's only $4.5 trillion. What's another $4.5 trillion on top of the 28 trillion that we're already sitting? Yeah, nothing big.
Right. One of the things I find interesting is like the whole debt ceiling thing, and debt ceiling's it's a good thing to limit yourself and not go too much into debt, but really the debt ceiling only impacts non-essential spending. I mean, so things like military spending are still done, even if we hit the debt ceiling. Really, essential business needs, I say business. Government should be run like a business, but essential government needs or essential projects are not limited by the debt ceiling. So the debt ceiling, when they're talking about shutting down the government, really shuts off all those social programs and all the more of some would call discretionary spending that the government has laid out.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
it really just hurts us again. Like, it's so stupid.
Oh, yeah, users of the services and employees of those government services.
Yeah, it's so dumb. And so Jake brings up this. If you want to talk about something, I'm just curious if you guys have any knowledge about big institutions moving their money into the inverse plays, and they are. I've been tracking at least BlackRock, Vanguard, Point72, Citadel, a lot of them started investing into the inverses of real estate, inverses into the SPY, into the inverse of NASDAQ, Dows, and there's numerous ones, some that are 3-time leverage, some are 2 leverage, and then also putting puts on SPY, NASDAQ, Dow. They're shorting the bond market. Like, it's getting kind of insane at this point. Like I said, we've been tracking that since February, and they're not slowing down. Like, when I say they're putting call options into the inverses, they're buying shares into the inverses, and the way that's interesting is that the inverses notoriously go down. Like, the UVXY actually went down far enough to where it actually did a reverse split, and where so it I think it was a 10-to-1, 5-to-1. It was an astronomical split or whatever, and it went from like $3 or $2 up to like $30 or $40. Like, it was insane. The increase that it went. Maybe it was a 20-to-1. I'd have to relook at it up. But yeah, that's what's interesting is that the SPY has been going down, right? The SPY has been just gradually going down. So like, if you look at like UVXY, it's a 3-time leverage. So for every percent, whatever percentage points, whether it's a 0.01 or 1%, it'll go up at least 3 times based on trading habits. It could be more if people are FOMOing into it or whatever. Do you guys have anything for that? Do you know anything about it?
I mean, I don't have a lot of direct knowledge, but it just makes me think, like, is it time to follow the money? I mean, for better or worse, I mean, as an individual, I don't know. Should I just short the SPY?
Oh, go ahead, sister.
No, I don't have anything to add. Go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say I wouldn't short it just yet, because we still have the MOAS. Like, that's the thing that I think people are forgetting is once the MOAS hits, like the SPY and all these stocks, they're going to go up. All these indices, I should say, we're going to go up. So I mean, I wouldn't short it just yet.
I guess.
Do
you think so? Because I mean, like, I don't know. It's like some of those stocks like aren't. I mean, they're not part of SPY. Like, they're not.
No,
I mean, they're not part of that index. And I mean, like, if you think about like forced liquidations and other holdings, I mean, I guess if they're I mean, if they're forced to sell or cover inverses, I mean, I don't know.
Well, half the market's shorted.
Yeah.
Half the market shorted, like Tesla, Apple, Microsoft. All these companies have shortage problems, and they are part of the SPY. And then plus you have, GameStop, AMC, Nokia. They all share ETFs with Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Amazon, you name it. And so indirectly, once MOAS happens, all these stocks will start ricocheting off of each other, which would actually move the market up in a way. Not for very long. I'm not saying it's going to be very long, but it's just a theory I have. Because I can't see all this money going into all these different stocks and the SPY going down. That would seem odd. Right?
Yeah. I guess unless they have to liquidate other investments to do that. I mean, like I would think like some of those tech guys are probably some of the least shorted stocks, right? Like your Apples and your Amazons and things, which I don't have the data in front of me to back it up. So, I am purely speculating. So everybody be aware of that. But your Apples, your Microsoft, your Amazons, a lot of the huge components of the S&P, which I don't know, Ken, if you saw that little like short video I posted a couple of weeks ago or whatever. It's just something I found, but it's insane. Some of the parallels between now and the 2000 crash in terms of the percentage of the SPY that is comprised of tech and a few companies in particular. And so I think some of those guys, if MOAS is as big as we expect it all to be, they could be liquidating other investments like in their long positions where there isn't a whole lot of short action. And if 40% of the SPY is those huge tech companies, even if they are covering shorts and some of the other components, I don't know, it could fall. Like I said, I'm not sure. This is good, interesting conversation.
Oh, of course. Bank of China. Nobody's looking at it from Johnny Rockin. Hey, Johnny, I see you snuck in here. I have not looked into Bank of China for a few months. If you want to fill me in for it, I would be forever grateful. I haven't looked, I think the last time I looked at Bank of China was back in June, and it was kind of looking actually very, very scarily similar to like Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, like all these big guys. They're all having the same similar look. So if you want to fill me in on it. Hey KDS, what's going on?
I have to say, my portfolio was only down 1% today, and for the tail end of this week, that was not too bad.
No, I wouldn't complain at all for that. Oh my gosh. No, I think
that's impressive. I haven't even looked at mine. I looked at the individual stocks, but I didn't even pull up the brokerage account because that's just like, I don't even want to.
Thursday was depressing, to say the least.
So I can't. I'm very sad because I've been pretty positive in my account minus Meta. God help me. We just don't talk about that. But I bought some ADA on Webull. I know, bad me, but I had like $40 to play with. So, and they actually added ADA on Webull. So I was like, okay, well the weekend's coming. I'm gonna buy in, and so I can try to flip it a little bit here and there. Well, poo on them because ADA crashed, and I'm very sad right now. So.
I don't know. How bad was it? I didn't see it.
It's a few cents.
I know some people that are in.
It's a few cents. Like I see, I bought in at. I'll look real quick. Let's see. Bought in at 244. It's at 236 now.
Okay.
So. I have like 16 and a half coin, so it's not bad. Like I'm down like $1.24, but I'm just like, no, you're supposed to go up.
You worried me there. I have a decently amount of ADA.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
sorry.
like, my brother's been in for a while. I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, I didn't even look at that today.
No, Hambone has a whole bunch of it. Like he has it in like Coinbase and stuff. Like so he has the legit coin. I'm just over here trading contracts. So, whatever.
One of the things that I don't know, I'm maybe switching topics a little bit, but one of the things that I'm big into outside of some of the stuff we talk about is steel. And steel got hurt real bad today because iron ore prices are just crashing, and a lot of it has to do with China and some of their production cuts, and they're one of the biggest consumers like of iron ore. Um, and so when you look at like the steel industry, like your U.S. Steel, like Nucor, Cleveland Cliffs, Vale, like the Brazilian mining company, like they're all getting killed. But I mean, I think there's some opportunities there. I mean, I still worry like about the broad market and a few things like with that, but I'm pretty deep into the steel market. I could go on about that for a while, but I just don't know that I don't know if there's much interest.
I'm sure any precious metals that you guys want to talk about, you're more than welcome to. Because I mean, it was actually really interesting today. We were talking about like the gold crashing and all this other stuff, and like today, all my Twitter was all about, oh, gold's down, silver's down, why is it down? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, those are excellent questions. So there's a lot of irony on my Twitter anymore. Like I'm starting to see that I might still be ahead of the game just a tad. But no, so if you want to talk about steel and anything like that you're finding, that'd be great.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I could. I just I mean, I've been watching it for a while and kind of like following a thesis that is not my own, but I mean, it has definitely been playing out. I mean, I think um, there's a lot going on there, like particularly in the U.S. And I mean, but it's got connections globally. I mean, steel prices are kind of at all-time highs. They've been there for a while. I mean, they've been holding. I mean, the meme is that basically it's all priced in, and they're going to be falling soon. But I don't necessarily see that happening because I mean, like some of the biggest steel consumers are the automakers, and I mean, we all know that they have um, significant production like delays. A lot of that plays into semis. A lot of it plays into, international shipping, which those prices have been super high and have stayed super high. Like there's been some plays on that. I think we talked about maybe maybe not actually on the pod, but I think in the chat we were talking about Zim a couple weeks ago, which has made like a 33% run here in like the past couple of months. Like they're a company that does international container shipping. But I mean, essentially in steel, I mean, it plays into a lot of the huge macro plays like in the market, from like an ESG perspective, which is like environmental social governance. A lot of companies are thinking a lot more about that and doing a lot more reporting about that. It's one of those interesting things. Like Gary Gensler talks about it all the time. Like all of these climate disclosures that Gensler's talking about. Everybody replies to him, and then we're like, "Hey, man, like what about MOAS?" But and GME AMC, which I mean, I completely agree with that sentiment. But I mean, that is one of the things that the SEC is focused on, and so a lot of companies are focused on it. Well, the the core of the thesis is that Chinese steel is low quality. They produce a lot of it. They're one of the biggest like steel makers in the world, but they've been cutting back production significantly because of how unclean their production is, and basically they're bearing the brunt of the environmental weight of that industry. And it's polluting their air, it's polluting their country. um, I think they're going to have Olympics there within the next year or two, and they're cutting back production and considering putting tariffs on exports because they want to invest more in their own economy, without you know polluting their own, land and area for the rest of the world to buy from. So there's been a lot of that, but iron ore has been crashing. You've got some companies here in the U.S. like Cliffs, which I'm really big on. I mean, they were an iron ore manufacturer that acquired a couple of steel companies last year, and these guys are just reporting record profits. I mean, their stock has been, trending upwards probably over the last 6 months, as have all the other, U.S. steel companies, ArcelorMittal in Europe. But it's held off, and it's kind of because everybody thinks that it's going to go down. I just don't think it is. I mean, I think it's here to stay. Like, I mean, I could go deeper into their business, talk about like the mills, and talk about the products, and talk about how, like, even though the automotive folks aren't buying as much, that means they get to sell at spot prices, which are just ridiculously high. I don't. I don't know. I'm looking for a counter argument from some people, because outside of the general state of the market, I'm looking for a reason to not buy, because outside of the things that we talk about normally, which I am heavily invested in, those are my largest positions. But I mean, I'm kind of feeling a double down on this one based on the way it's been behaving.
Well, I mean, so we have all these shortages, right? These chip shortages, and we're going to be needing to manufacture some more military equipment and the infrastructure built. So I mean, wouldn't that kind of play into steel prices? I mean, it's all precious metals, absolutely. But I mean,
yeah. Oh, I mean, the infrastructure. I mean, when it actually passes, I mean, that would be huge. I mean, Cliffs in particular, and I think a lot of the other ones. I mean, Nucor was there at the same time. X was there at the same time. Like, when the infrastructure bill passed the Senate, I mean, they were all kind of sitting at 52-week highs, if not all time.
That's insane. Oh my. It's gonna get weird. KDS, I understand what you're saying. KDS said, "P.S. Would love to see more people here, but frankly, almost glad there isn't." Know what I mean? No, I get it. I know everyone likes the smallness right now. I don't mind. It's fun. It's always gonna be fun. I am gonna try to figure out a special role for like the OG people that have always been here, so that you guys do stand out a little bit more. If I can figure that out on YouTube, I will, for sure. So, because I do kind of I can remember who's been here and who hasn't, so it's been pretty fun. But yeah, no, I am curious, because you figure, okay, you have Toyota that has all these like trucks and everything that are literally just sitting, right? Because they're waiting on computer chips. I mean, that's a bunch of steel that's just wasted. I actually sorry guys. I actually have this thing where I get actually really pissed off driving by brand new auto stores. I get really pissed off. Like, probably more so than I should, because I see it as a waste of resources. You have all these vehicles, all these brand new shiny vehicles just sitting there, when you have also these used car lots that nobody actually wants to buy these vehicles either. And I don't know, like, it just makes me so pissed off to see us waste leather and cotton and steel and gold, silver, any of these precious metals or any of these precious resources that could be used to do 1,000 other things than put into vehicles that may or may not be driven ever. It might be just, it may be unjust, but it just really pisses me off on a lot of levels most days. Like, and I'm sure anybody that lives here in Tampa, how many car stores do we have? Like, I go down 19, and it's just like one right after another, and it drives me nuts. I'm sorry. Rant over.
Yeah, I just count the what do they call them? The auto centers. I stopped counting my dealers, because there's a whole bunch of dealers, and then there's an auto center every 4 miles that has 15 dealers in it.
Oh, right, right. So I mean, it's just, and then you
Yeah, I
figure.
mean,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I mean, it's crazy how inefficient the system can be, right? Like, I mean, I'm not saying that I have a better one. I don't have a solution or anything, but it's crazy how inefficient the system can be.
Tampa Kurt said, "I just bought a used car and it'll take 2,000 more than the car's worth to fix it." Oh no! Oh no! That's terrible. What do you guys expect from the GMU report from the SEC? Man, I. Oh, speaking of, okay, kinda. Did everybody see the article today that went after Keith Gill's prior place of employment?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's kind. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's a technicality, but it's one of those things. Yeah, I mean, apparently, Mass Mutual got fined. I think it was like $4.5 million for
Yeah.
failing to supervise their agents because they have policies and procedures that say that people that are in roles like that working for them that are licensed brokers aren't allowed to trade over a certain amount of securities.
Yeah, like
And
250,000 or something
yeah,
like
they
that.
said they were basically saying that they failed to supervise their agents because they didn't monitor social media to see that he was doing this. Which I mean, yeah, what a joke, right? I
I
mean,
mean, how petty, and who pissed in your Cheerios to where you go after the place of employment when he quit in January. He left in January of 2021. Like, hello, how petty do you have to be? But yeah, so there's something. There is gonna be something in the GME report. I can almost be certain of it. I mean, there's too much. There's just too much. Um,
it's just. I mean, I'm interested to see what it will be. I mean, I don't think it's gonna like broadly. I don't think it's gonna hurt the company. I don't think it's gonna be about the company. I I just don't see it being substantive in any way, honestly, because they're like they know that this is still going on. They know that there's still a lot of support. I mean, there's still some of the things that they could say about what happened or is, could I mean, it's still happening. I mean, I think we all kind of see that it's still happening, and so I I just I'm somewhat interested in it, but I mean, I think it's just going to be a big, uh, disappointment and letdown to pretty much anybody reading it because I don't think there's going to be much to it. Like, it's going to be very cagey. Um, I mean, you saw what the SEC's been doing, like with Coinbase, and probably what Cuban said about that, right? It's like when they get to the point where they don't know what they're doing, they're afraid to make a decision, and so they let the lawyers make it for them, right? And I think the report is going to follow that same vein.
oh yeah, I could see it. Like, I mean, it's just like, the earnings report. It's, quadruple. I don't hype anything ever, and so therefore I'm always surprised if something does come of whatever. Um, I don't know. Like, I am just very curious because this has been quite the saga, right, with GME.
I
Um,
didn't realize, and just reading one of these articles, I didn't realize Gill was a registered broker agent, and that's really going to be the key to this. Is as a registered broker agent, you agree to certain rules, and
He
so
is,
there.
but I mean, he didn't have clients. I mean, he was in basically a training and education role for the company. Like, he was not a advisor to anybody. He didn't manage anybody's money. It's like, yeah, he did have his license, um, but he was not actively practicing. Um, so there is that.
Hmm.
let's see. Katie says, "Did you see the Bloomberg report of the China U.S. roundtable, which included Ken Griffin?" No, I haven't. If I could have a link for that. It doesn't surprise me because he's been getting in with like a lot of different like politicians and whatnot, so it really doesn't surprise me at all. Tampa Kurt, are they supposed to babysit all former employers? So he was doing this while he worked there. I think that's where it was kind of a no-go. That's where he wasn't supposed to be doing it because he was still working there, and then he quit in January. Like he was broadcasting it while he was doing it, obviously with his YouTube. When I was younger, I used to go to the rec yards to buy catalytic converters. We sold them to a large company that would extract them and turn them. In turn, they would ship directly to Toyota. Yeah. Well, and it's funny that you say that because someone actually, my mom, she had just gotten this, whenever the Jeep Grand Cherokees kind of came out in like I think it was an 04, maybe. She probably had it like 2 years, and where she worked in like a regular just like office building, right? And someone cut her catalytic converter out of her vehicle back in like the 06 or some shit. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
That happens frequently here
Yeah.
in Orange County, in Southern California. It's just all the time. We get people reporting catalytic converters getting stolen.
Yeah, it's stupid. It is so stupid that people do that. And that's where it's like we park in the garage 100% of the time. Not that they could easily get to ours because we have skid plates underneath our Jeep because we have a Renegade, but either way.
I had to look up. I didn't realize why people were stealing catalytic converters. Like, that's quite a black market. And then I realized that there's platinum and palladium, among other metals involved in manufacturing. I was like, oh, that's why. So my next lookup was Googling my vehicle to see how much precious metals is in mine and what it might be worth. And luckily, mine is not that valuable. So hopefully, it won't get stolen.
That's good. That's a good thing. I never even thought to do that. Like, oh my gosh.
Look up replacement costs and how much material is in it, and it's less likely to get stolen if they're not worth taking.
Sorry, chat. I'm trying to catch up. KDS today. KDS, I thought you were going to spend time with your wife so you don't get in trouble. Oh, I see it down at the bottom. Okay, I'll love you dearly. Yeah. No, go spend time with your wife. Today we announced insider trading charges against Deakar Mayu, who generated gains and avoided losses totaling over $8 million by trading in the securities of his former employer. D, I happened to see something that some rep or senator that had been in Pennsylvania, I think, visiting a steel something that was 35-year family-owned business in danger of closing because of lack of workers. That doesn't surprise me, D. And like, this is probably the saddest and funniest story I'll tell you guys lately, with the experience of like worker shortage. We went to a Burger King. It's probably been a month now, and it took we went through the drive-through and we got like 2 regular meals and a kids meal because it was me, my husband, and our daughter, and it took like 35 minutes for some reason. Like, it took 35 minutes for us to get our food, and there was probably like 9 cars behind us, and it was something like 2 cheeseburgers and like a chicken nugget meal, I think, something simple, nothing crazy. Just couldn't figure it out. So yeah, no, I mean, we've experienced this whole like worker shortage thing a few times around where we live, in various instances, but that was just the weirdest one. Like 35 minutes for Burger King. Like, that's why it's called fast food. It's supposed to be fast.
Got a tangent on that one.
Man,
well, no, I mean, it was on like Facepalm or something, like on Reddit the other day, which, I mean, that's kind of funny. I mean, Facepalm is basically just something that takes little clips from social media where people post them for some reason or another, but they're just incredibly like inane, and I guess for the most part they don't know what they're doing. But it was this lady from California that called 911 because she was at the Burger King and they wouldn't make her like Southwestern bacon cheeseburger or something. They just kept giving her a regular one with lettuce, tomato, and onions. And she called 911 and wanted them to send somebody down there to take care of it for her, because I mean, she was a paying customer and she deserved to get her Southwestern bacon cheeseburger. It was interesting. I don't know. Sorry, you reminded me of it talking about Burger King and worker shortage.
Oh my god. So, and Burger King always brings up, if you do you guys remember Dane Cook? Please tell me I'm not the only one that listened to Dane Cook.
I did. Sorry, I was talking.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Okay, his Burger King sketch that one is probably one of the funniest ones I will ever remember because of like just in high school I loved Burger King, like before Color Guard and stuff. Like anytime me and my girlfriend had to go to Color Guard, we'd get Burger King. Probably the worst idea. If anybody knows what Color Guard is, it's literally like flags, dancing, marching band type stuff in Indiana heat. That was terrible.
I was gonna say in Boy Scouts, Color Guard is the crew that handles the flag and it out.
No, they were talking like marching band. Yes, I was that person, but to be fair, we were undefeated state champs the whole time, like high rep national champs. Like, come on, it was cool. We were pretty big. Yeah, we would do like a double cheeseburger, French fries, and an icy before Color Guard practice. Yeah, no, not anymore. I think about those days and I'm like, no. But yeah, we listened to Dane Cook a lot, so. Sorry, total random tangent. I know
it was my fault. I'll take the blame for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say my wife was on the flag team. I don't know what it wasn't called Color Guard. It was something else where she was here. But she was one of the people that marched out with the flags and the colors and all that fancy stuff.
Very cool. No, this was in high school, so I don't know what it would have been in other states. It's just what we called it. Let's see. Same here, D. I definitely got screwed on my car. I see. He was funny for quite a while. Yeah, he was funny for quite a while. He died down probably the year after I graduated. Like, 2009, he just kind of stopped being funny, which is unfortunate. But yeah, no, I don't know, guys. Like, I'm very sketched out with how a lot of stuff's going. Like, I wish you guys, like, I should just turn on my podcast some nights and just have you guys listen to me and Hambone. Because, like, we sit here, we get going, and you'd think we end up having, like, a panic attack some nights because we're just like, oh my god, this world is freaking nuts. But it's just, I'm very uncertain. And it's really weird because now you guys actually get to see my facial reactions when I'm thinking about how to like put things. So I have to be very conscientious of this now too. But yeah, I'm very uncertain with how everything's going to go. And like, if they don't raise the debt ceiling, like that's the first thing that we need to figure out is, are they going to raise the debt ceiling and how long this is going to take? And then the next thing is, how much longer can the hedge funds hold out? Right. And this is actually interesting. So, and I'm still looking into it. I'll share this as like kind of the like last thing and shout out the person who sent it to me. So Retha is a badass. Complete and utter badass. Okay. So if anybody in Discord wants to see what I am sharing, you'll have to look at YouTube. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to make this bigger so you guys don't see all of my DMs and I don't get people mad at me. I feel like that is like the hardest thing sometimes when I go to share my screen. Is like, okay, what am I allowed to and what am I not allowed to share? Okay. So if we can try to make heads or tails of this would be great. So switch.
So Ken, a trick for that, and I believe you have multiple monitors, is to share a monitor, and then when you're streaming, only ever put things on that monitor that you want to share.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I had to like increase the size so that it hides the other DMs and everything else. Like, yeah, no, that's how I do it. I'm in the process. I want to get a third monitor so bad. Not that I quite have the desk space for it, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, so she sent me this like pretty late last night. So, all right. This is kind of what she was wanting to show. And like I said, I still have to dive into this, and I'm gonna pick her brain later about it. But company, and this is about Citadel. This is all about Citadel. Excuse me. I'm sorry. The company has concentration risk with respect to its derivative financial instruments. At December 31st, 2020, BAML serves as clearing and prime broker for 96.69% of the company's net derivative asset. See note 8, blah, blah, blah. As of December 31st, 2020, customer transaction consists of the company in its capacity as a market maker executes trades on behalf of its broker and dealer clients and is reimbursed by clients for transaction fees incurred. So she pointed that out. Bank of Merrill Lynch. I don't remember what. Oh, I see. Citadel prepares to borrow $500 million from J.P. Morgan and other lenders for Melvin in December. So they saw this coming. Like, this was a whole big thing in January that they bailed out Melvin in January, February, whatever. They already knew this was coming. Loans and interest payable to the affiliate were $1.6 billion and $3 million, respectively, and are reflected in the statement of financial conditions. Company has entered into a cash advance agreement with Citadel Securities LP and an affiliate during 2020, and the maturity date was extended until December 31st, 2021 for the period of January 1, 2020 through June 30, 2020. Blah, blah, blah. So then we come down here, derivatives, financial instruments. Company may enter into the derivative financial instruments in normal course of its market making business to manage various underlying exposure for risk management purposes or for proprietary risk taking. Examples of the use of derivative financial instruments for risk management purposes include, but are not limited to, the following: interest rate derivatives to manage potential exposure to interest rate fluctuations, and equity derivatives to manage potential price fluctuations related to individual equities, equity options, equity baskets, or indices. So they're basically in some deep shit, pretty much. The cash and security account balances held at various global financial institutions, which typically exceed government-sponsored insurance coverages. Until such investment are sold or are paid in full at the maturity, the company is exposed to credit risk relating to whether the issuer will meet its obligation when the security comes due. The trading manager attempts, where possible, to manage the risk associated with the credit-sensitive instruments. Blah, blah, blah. Failure. There's another good part in here. So then they found the notes for statements of financial conditions, basically what's going on with them. So yeah, it's she did great. I think it was, the receivable from and payable to broker dealers, clearing organizations, and custodian may include cash balances, open trade equity related to certain derivative financial instruments, and amounts receivable or payable to for unsettled trades and securities failed to deliver or receive. The company clears certain of its proprietary transactions through clearing brokers. The net receivable payables from two brokers, dealers, clearing organizations, and custodians related to the aforementioned transactions contain cash margin balances and are collateralized by securities owned by the company. Whew. So yeah, it's they knew what was coming. 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 They knew they knew what was coming, and I thought that was very interesting. So, like I said, I'm going to dive more into this and actually, kind of try to piece it together in a more concise way. But earthquake just rolled through here like a freight train. Are you serious? Are you okay?
I felt it a little bit, but it must have been an LA area because I was like, why do I feel like I'm shaking?
Whoa. Are you guys good? Cause
I am here. I just had my my ceiling fan pull chains moving a little bit, but nothing major.
oh my gosh, be careful
I don't know
out there.
about I don't know about Johnny Rocket.
That is so crazy. I was just trying to catch up on all the chat. Be safe out there, guys. Does anyone have any final thoughts?
Just another day in sunny California.
Oh gosh. Star Warrior told me no. I'm not 100% sure what the no was for. Those are flag bearers or something. No, not yeah. They're
The no was a response
Going
when
back
you
to
asked,
color
but yeah, if you knew what color, or we all knew what color guard was.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
I guess in terms of final thoughts, like I don't know, one other thing I saw that I thought has been interesting, like over the past couple of days, is I guess this potential investigation into what the Fed officials are holding or have held throughout this whole COVID curve and everything. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I guess, I mean, Jerome Powell himself like said that his stuff was held in a blind trust, and so he didn't know what was in there, and et cetera, et cetera. But apparently, a lot of the members of the Fed board were uh, very actively trading a lot of securities throughout 2020. While all this was happening and while the Fed was preparing to buy some of those same securities that they were trading. And so now they've decided they want to look into that.
Oh, they just now want to decide to look into it. Not when they, cashed out a bunch of stock before the economy crashed in March. No, don't look into it then. Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's just I don't know. Somebody must have found out. Somebody, you can't look into it before you get caught. I mean, as long as nobody knows, no harm, no foul, right?
Oh, yeah, uh-huh. I'm sorry. If you're an elected official, you should not be able to trade.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, you want to talk about ultimate insider trading. Like, come on.
Yeah. There's
And,
also,
and
I
being,
mean,
being in a position to significantly sway monetary policy, or make a public announcement that significantly sways markets.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, oh hey, so we're gonna pull out all of our money from these stocks now, and then we're gonna shut everything down. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. And then we're gonna put all that. But before we do that, we're gonna put all of our money in the inverses because we know this is gonna happen. I'm sorry, tinfoil.
And then they came out and said that, oh, we're going to liquidate all of our stocks and put it into EFTs. And it's like, well, now that you've made all the money after 2020 major downfall and all the recovery and everything like that, now that all the stocks you own are probably way up, yeah, sure, it's a good time to sell and put it into an EFT.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, no, and that's exactly, yeah, I think that's exactly what's going on right now. Yeah, to your point. Like, I mean, I think they are. I believe, and again, I don't have nearly as much time as I used to, so I haven't been able to dig quite as deep on some of this stuff. But I mean, I believe like throughout the month of December, like the Fed is like liquidating a lot of the securities they hold. I think they have to basically ahead of the beginning of October, and so I mean, I think that's part of the reason why we've been seeing a downtrend through September.
Well, September is notoriously a bad month. Like, it's actually, it's just historical. I don't know. I'm just along for the ride at this point. Like, it's gonna get bumpy. I don't know if you guys watch Harry Potter, if you guys have ever seen Harry Potter, read the books or whatever, but like, the little talking head or whatever, where he says it's about to be a bumpy ride. It's literally what plays through my head every day.
The earthquake was a 4.3 in Carson, California.
Carson, really? I think Spain have a few thousand earthquakes yesterday, and one day they're worried about volcanic eruption, which will send a really bad tsunami to these coasts. I read about that, or no. Hambone told me about that, Johnny Rocket. Hambone told me about that, and I was like, let's not do that. We don't need hurricanes and tsunamis. Like, I getting deja vu again, all over again from Hawaii. Like, I don't want it. We don't need that stuff. It'd be very bad. You're all over the place. No worries. It's Friday. It's cool. I'm all over the place too. My brain is shattered. Trying to think. So tomorrow, okay, I'm gonna pick your guys' brain on this. I was gonna kind of just do like a chill night. Like, I was gonna try to figure out how to get everybody like to be able to talk, like where we can just like hang out and talk or whatever. I mean, more than what we just do right now. But I don't want tomorrow to be about economic stuff. Like, I want it full open mic, hang out, and it might be like a very long podcast or something. Like, maybe we can play, like, maybe I can stream a game or something. Like, just make it fun. Make it like a Saturday night fun.
I think we need to figure out how to get more people in to voice, to do a good open mic. Otherwise, it's the three of us up here like yesterday.
Well,
yeah, but I mean, that might be a good way to do it, though. I mean, no pressure, no knowledge required, no research required. Just come up and hang out.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like, gaming or something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Because I have a feeling this weekend is going to be drama filled. And I want everybody, your mission, I will set it out again this week. Your mission is to avoid it. Just avoid it. Come hang out here. We're going to play games. I'm going to, we'll play Ark or some League or something. I don't know yet.
Okay, wait, Dota's better than League.
Dota is not, no.
Come on. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Star Warrior wants to do karaoke.
Y'all can do karaoke. I am not doing it. Which is funny.
Where's the easiest place for people on YouTube to find the Discord link?
I have it all over the YouTube.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I just didn't look. I just clicked into it too fast, apparently.
So do you guys want that? Do you want me to stream some? Do you guys want to play some Ark tomorrow or something? Does everybody have Ark or League or something? Do you guys want that? Like, is that a cool thing? And I already talked to Hambone, and I think First Strike might be get down for it. But doing a prepper day, he's down for it. It'd be fun.
So. Nice. I mean, I would probably participate in some conversations. I'm not a huge gamer.
You guys can.
I actually used to game a lot, but after I had 3 kids and worked full time, I just didn't really have time for gaming very often anymore, and it kind of went by the wayside.
I understand that. So it will be one of those things where we might have to figure out something where there's constant play if I have to get up and go help take care of our daughter. But just had a 5.2 quake in California. Yeah, I just heard that. Play Twister.
Johnny Rocket. Twister.
My back, the way it is, will not allow Twister. I'm just going to put that out there. It won't do it. 31 years old, degenerating discs. No, I won't get back up. I'm actually surprised I was able to do as much as I did today. But yeah, we'll figure out something fun tomorrow. We're gonna take a day off of economics tomorrow. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like fun to me.
I'm just talking to myself. That's cool. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just multitasking too much, and it's too hard for me to find the mute button.
That's cool. No, that's fine. All right, guys. I will see you guys around tomorrow. It might be earlier. It might not be. We'll see. But yeah, it will be different than our normal broadcast. So I expect a lot of people in Discord tomorrow, and I'm gonna start posting it out on Twitter tonight. That it's gonna be game night. Maybe we can do like Jack in the Box or something. That would be actually kind of fun. That might.
Those have I mean those things have like cool games. I mean those are always fun.
I'll look into it. All right, game night tomorrow for BullHouse. This is gonna be great. I'm excited. All right, it's been real. It's been fun, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Right.
Good
Night, everyone.